My daughter told me to go die in peace, so I lived long enough to teach her a lesson. My name is Dolores Mayfield. I'm 66 years old, and I live in Savannah, Georgia. I never thought the deepest wound I'd ever carry would come from my own blood. Not a stranger, not a man, but my daughter. She looked me in the eye, cold as winter, and said, "Mama, why don't you just go die in peace?" Funny thing is, I almost did. Almost. But life had other plans. And now, I'm still breathing. Not because I'm strong, but because I had a lesson to teach. A lesson I knew she'd never forget. If this story resonates with your soul, hit that subscribe button and tell me where you're watching from in the comments. I'd love to know which country you're listening from. I sit on the edge of the hospital bed, the sterile scent of antiseptic clinging to my skin, my hands trembling as I adjust the shawl around my shoulders. The doctor's words still echo in my head. "You're lucky, Ms. Mayfield. Pneumonia at your age can be a death sentence." Lucky, that's what they call it when you're 66 and still breathing. Even though your own daughter looks at you like you're a burden she can't wait to shed. Jade's supposed to pick me up today, and the thought of seeing her face, those sharp eyes that used to light up when I braided her hair as a child, makes my chest tighten more than the illness ever did. The hospital room door swings open, and there she is, my Jade, 38 years old, her braids pulled tight into a bun, her lips pressed into a thin line. She's wearing that navy blazer I bought her for her real estate job, but it's wrinkled, like she slept in it. Her eyes don't meet mine as she strides in, her heels clicking against the linoleum. "Let's go, Mama," she says, voice flat, like she's reading from a script. "I've got a meeting in an hour." I nod, gripping the walker they gave me, my legs still weak from weeks of fighting to breathe. The nurse, a kind woman with a gap-toothed smile, hands me my discharge papers, but Jade snatches them before I can take a look. "I'll handle it," she mutters, stuffing them into her purse. The ride home is suffocating, not because of the Georgia heat pressing against the car windows, but because of the silence between us. Savannah's oak trees blur past, draped in Spanish moss, and I steal glances at Jade. Her hands grip the steering wheel so tight, her knuckles pale. There's a bruise on her wrist, purple and angry, peeking out from her sleeve. My heart lurches. "Jade, honey," I start, my voice soft. "What happened to your wrist?" She doesn't look at me. "It's nothing. Bumped it at work." "You sure?" "Looks bad." I said, "It's nothing, Mama." Her tone is sharp, slicing through the air. She turns up the radio, some gospel station I used to love, but now it feels like a mockery. I swallow the hurt, staring out the window, my fingers tracing the edge of my shawl. We pull into the driveway of my little house, the one I've lived in since Jade was a baby, the one where I raised her alone after her daddy passed. The paint's peeling now and the porch sags, but it's mine. Jade doesn't offer to help as I struggle out of the car, my walker catching on the gravel. Inside, the house smells of dust and memories, old photos of Jade's high school graduation, her prom dress, the life we used to have before she started pulling away. "Need anything?" Jade asks, already halfway to the door, her purse slung over her shoulder. "You not staying?" I ask, hating how small my voice sounds. She sighs, glancing at her phone. "I told you, I got a meeting." "You'll be fine, Mama. You always are." I want to ask her why she's so cold, why her eyes don't soften when she looks at me anymore, but the words stick in my throat. Instead, I say, "Jade, you'd tell me if something was wrong, wouldn't you?" Her jaw tightens, and for a moment, I think she might say something real. But then she shakes her head, her voice clipped. "You should have signed the DNR, Ma. What are you even holding on for?" The words hit like a slap, stealing the air from my lungs. I stare at her, my daughter, the girl I carried through fevers and heartbreaks, the girl I prayed for every night. Her eyes meet mine, and there's no warmth there, just a flicker of something. Guilt? Anger? I can't tell. Because I wasn't ready to let go yet, I say quietly, my voice steady despite the ache in my chest. She doesn't respond, just turns and walks out, the screen door slamming behind her. I stand there, alone in the quiet, my hands shaking as I grip the walker. The house feels too big, too empty, and I wonder when my daughter became a stranger. Days pass, and I'm still weak. But I can't stay in bed forever. The hospital bills are piling up, and Jade hasn't been back since she dropped me off. I call her, leave voicemails, but she texts back excuses, busy with clients. I'll come by soon. Soon never comes. The loneliness gnaws at me, but so does the memory of her words, her bruised wrist, the way she wouldn't look at me. Something's wrong, and I can't shake the feeling that it's more than just her resentment. I need to move, to do something. So I drag myself to the attic, looking for old photo albums to remind me of better times. The stairs creak under my weight, and the air up here is thick with dust. Boxes are stacked haphazardly, some labeled in Jade's childish handwriting, others in my late husband's precise script. I'm sifting through memories when my hand brushes against a small wooden box tucked behind a pile of blankets. It's heavy, locked, with a brass clasp I don't recognize. This isn't mine. My heart pounds as I carry it downstairs, my fingers fumbling with a hairpin to pick the lock. It takes a while, but the clasp finally clicks open. Inside, there's a stack of papers, yellowed at the edges. Real estate deeds, bank statements, a power of attorney form. My name is on it, but the signature isn't mine. It's a clumsy imitation. The loops of the D too sharp, the M too slanted. My breath catches as I flip through the deeds. Properties I've never heard of, addresses in Atlanta, Charleston, places I've never been. And then there's a letter, typed, unsigned, but the words make my blood run cold. Transfer complete, funds secured, she won't suspect. Jade, I whisper, my voice trembling. What did you do? I sit there, the papers spread across the kitchen table, my mind racing. Jade's always been ambitious, driven, the kind of woman who'd claw her way to the top of her real estate firm. But this, forging my name, hiding properties. My heart tells me there's an explanation, that my daughter wouldn't betray me like this. But the evidence is staring me in the face. And that bruise on her wrist. Could someone be forcing her? Or is she in too deep, caught in something she can't escape? I pick up the phone, my hands shaking as I dial her number. It goes straight to voicemail. Jade, baby, we need to talk. I found something, papers, call me back. I hang up, but the silence in the house is deafening. I think about calling the police, but what would I say? That my daughter might be stealing from me? That I don't trust her? The shame of it burns. Instead, I call my old friend Marla, who's been my rock since we were girls. She answers on the first ring, her voice warm but concerned. Dolores, you sound like you've seen a ghost. What's going on? I tell her everything. The hospital, Jade's coldness, the bruise, the box. Marla listens, her silence heavy with understanding. Dolores, you need to be careful, she says finally. Jade's been different lately. I saw her at the market last week, talking to some man I didn't know. Looked like they were arguing. She didn't see me, but something wasn't right. What kind of man? I ask, my stomach twisting. Fancy suit, too slick for Savannah. Kept touching her arm, like he was trying to calm her down. She looked scared, Dolores. I close my eyes, the papers still clutched in my hand. Marla, what if she's in trouble? What if she's mixed up in something bad? Then you gotta find out, Marla says firmly. But don't confront her yet. You need more than a box of papers. You need proof. She's right. But the thought of digging into my daughter's life feels like a betrayal of its own. Still, I can't let this go. I think about Jade's words in the car, the way she told me to die in peace. Was it anger, or was she trying to protect me from something? The questions swirl, each one sharper than the last. That night, I can't sleep. The papers are locked back in the box, hidden under my bed, but they haunt me. I keep seeing Jade's face, her eyes cold, but flickering with something I can't name. I think about the girl she used to be, the one who'd curl up next to me during thunderstorms, whispering, "Mama, you'll keep me safe, right?" I always did. But now, I'm not sure who needs saving, her or me. I make a decision. Tomorrow, I'll start digging. I'll call the bank, check the deeds, maybe even follow Jade to one of her meetings. I'm not ready to let go yet. Not of life, and not of my daughter. Whatever she's hiding, I'll find it. And if she's betrayed me, if she's tried to take what's mine, I'll make sure she learns a lesson she'll never forget. The morning after finding the box, I wake with a heaviness in my bones that has little to do with the pneumonia. The papers are still hidden under my bed, their weight pressing on my mind. I've left another voicemail for Jade, my voice steady but pleading, asking her to come over. No response. The silence from her feels like a wall I can't climb. I'm sipping weak coffee, staring out the kitchen window at the sagging porch when the doorbell chimes. It's Miss Ruthie, my neighbor since forever, her silver hair tucked under a wide-brimmed hat, a pitcher of sweet tea in her hands. "Dolores, you look like you're carrying the world," she says, setting the pitcher on the counter. Her eyes, sharp for a woman pushing 70, scan my face. "You all right, sugar?" I force a smile, pouring us both a glass. "Just tired, Ruthie. Hospital took it out of me." We sit at the table, the hum of cicadas drifting through the open window. Ruthie sips her tea, then leans forward, her voice low. "I saw something odd last week, Dolores, a for sale sign, out front your house. I told the man putting it up, 'You must be mistaken. Dolores ain't going nowhere.' He just laughed, said, 'Oh, she will.' My glass nearly slips from my hand. A for sale sign? Here." Ruthie nods, her lips pursed. "Big old thing, right by the mailbox. I called the number on it, but the line was disconnected. Next day, it was gone. Thought you should know." My heart hammers. Jade, the deeds in the box, the forged signature, and now this? I mumble a thanks, my mind racing as Ruthie chats about her garden. She doesn't notice the way my hands shake, the way I'm barely listening. After she leaves, I sit frozen, the sweet tea turning sour in my stomach. My house, the one I raised Jade in, the one I paid off with years of sweat and tears, is it slipping through my fingers? Is my own daughter trying to sell it out from under me? I dig out the box again, spreading the papers across the table. The deeds list properties I don't own, but my name's on them, scrawled in that fake signature. There's a pattern, transfers dated months back, all linked to Jade's real estate firm. I call the bank, my voice calm, despite the storm inside me. The clerk hesitates, then confirms. My savings account's been accessed. Small withdrawals I never authorized. Not enough to empty it, but enough to sting. I hang up, my breath shallow. I need to see Jade. Now I text her, "Come to the house, it's urgent." To my surprise, she replies within minutes, "Fine, be there in an hour." I pace the living room, the papers clutched in my hand, rehearsing what I'll say. The hurt, the betrayal, the questions. They churn inside me, but I'm not just a sick old woman. I'm Dolores Mayfield, and I've fought harder battles than this. When Jade arrives, she's all sharp edges, tight jaw, eyes darting like she's expecting an ambush. She's in a crisp white blouse, but that bruise on her wrist is still there, darker now. I don't offer her tea or a seat. I hold up the papers, my voice steady as stone. "You thought I wouldn't find out, huh?" Her eyes widen, but only for a second before they narrow, her lips curling into something like a sneer. "What are you talking about, Mama?" "Don't play dumb, Jade." I slap the papers on the table, the forged power of attorney on top. "This your signature, these deeds, and don't lie to me about that for sale sign Ruthie saw." She freezes, her breath hitching, but then she laughs, a sharp, bitter sound that cuts deeper than her words in the car. "You owe me, Mama. Years of sacrificing my life, taking care of you, and what did I get? Just an old woman who won't die and let me live." The room tilts. I grip the table to steady myself, her words slicing through me. "Sacrificing. I raised you alone, Jade, gave you everything, and this is how you repay me? Stealing my house?" She steps closer, her voice low, venomous. "I'm not stealing. I'm surviving. You have no idea what I'm dealing with. Debts, Mama, real ones, the kind that don't wait. I was gonna sell this place, put you in a nice care facility. You'd be comfortable. It's not like you need this house anymore. I stare at her, my daughter, and it's like looking at a stranger wearing her face. A care facility. You think you can just ship me off and wash your hands of me. You're not well, she snaps, her voice rising. You almost died, Mama. You're a liability. I was doing what's best for both of us. Best for you, I say, my voice trembling with rage. You forged my name, Jade. You took my money. You think I'm too weak to fight back? Her eyes flicker. Guilt, maybe, or fear. But she doubles down, crossing her arms. You don't get it. I had no choice. You were supposed to die in peace. I finish, my voice cold. Like you told me in the car? She flinches, and for a moment, I see the little girl she used to be. The one who'd cry when I left for work. But that girl's gone, replaced by this woman who's drowning in something she won't name. I want to shake her, to demand answers about the bruise, the man Ruthie saw, the debts she's hiding. But I don't. Not yet. Instead, I let my shoulders slump. Let my eyes fill with tears I don't have to fake. You broke my heart, Jade, I whisper. My own daughter. She shifts, uncomfortable, but doesn't back down. I did what I had to. You'll see it's better this way. I nod, slow and deliberate, like I'm defeated. But inside, I'm burning. She thinks I'm done, that I'll roll over and let her take everything. She's wrong. I've got a plan forming, one that'll make her regret ever thinking she could outsmart me. I wipe my eyes, my voice soft. Go on then, I need to rest. She hesitates, like she's waiting for me to beg, but I don't. She grabs her purse and leaves, the screen door slamming again. I wait until her car's gone, then I pick up the phone and call Marla. Dolores, you sound worse than yesterday, she says, worry lacing her voice. I need your help, I say, my voice low. Jade's trying to sell my house. She's in debt, Marla, and she's using me to dig herself out. Marla gasps, Lord Dolores, what you gonna do? I'm gonna find out how deep this goes, I say. Can you ask around? That man you saw her with, find out who he is. And I need a lawyer, someone who can look at these papers. I know just the person, Marla says. My cousin's boy, he's a lawyer in Atlanta, sharp as a tack. I'll call him tonight. I thank her, hanging up, as the weight of Jade's betrayal settles deeper. But I'm not broken, not yet. I think about the man Ruthie saw, the one who laughed and said I'd be gone. Was he the same one Marla saw arguing with Jade? And those debts, how bad are they? Is someone threatening her, or is she just greedy? The questions pile up, each one a thread I need to pull. I spend the next day making calls. The bank confirms more unauthorized transactions, all small enough to slip under my radar. The lawyer Marla recommended, a young man named Marcus, agrees to meet me tomorrow. He sounds kind but firm, promising to dig into the deeds and the forged document. I don't tell him everything, not yet, but I give him enough to start. That night, I sit on the porch, the air thick with the scent of jasmine. I think about Jade's bruise, her desperation, the way she said she had no choice. Part of me wants to believe she's trapped, that she's still my girl, fighting to survive. But another part, the part that's been through too much to be naive, knows she might just be playing me. Either way, I'm not letting her take my home, my memories, my life. I go back inside, locking the door behind me. The papers are still under the bed, but I pull them out again, studying them under the lamplight. There's a name on one of the deeds, a company, Coastal Ventures. I've never heard of it, but it's a start. Tomorrow, I'll dig deeper. I'll find out who's behind this, and if Jade's in over her head, I'll pull her out, or drag her down with me. As I drift to sleep, I hear her voice again. Just an old woman who won't die. Oh, Jade, I'm not going anywhere. Not until you learn what happens when you try to bury your own mother. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted with your life? Drop a yes in the comments. If not, thank God, and hit subscribe. It helps us tell more stories like this. The night after confronting Jade, I lie awake, the papers from the box burning a hole in my thoughts. Coastal Ventures. That name on the deed keeps circling my mind, a clue I can't yet pin down. I've got Marcus, the lawyer, digging into it, and Marla's asking around about the man she saw Jade with, but it's not enough. I need to know how far my daughter's gone, and I need to protect what's mine. Jade thinks she's won, that I'm too frail to fight back. She's about to learn how wrong she is. Morning comes, and I'm at the kitchen table, sipping coffee, when a memory hits me like a freight train. Years ago, after my husband passed, I sat in a lawyer's office, rewriting my will. Jade was already pulling away, her ambition turning sharp, her visits shorter, her patience thinner. I saw the change in her, the way she eyed this house, like it was a prize she deserved. So I made a choice. I put the house in my niece Tasha's name. Tasha, the school principal, who still calls me every Sunday, who never asks for anything but my love. I whisper to myself, "You thought I didn't see who you were turning into, Jade. I saw it long before you opened your mouth." Jade doesn't know. The house she's trying to sell, the one she thinks is her ticket out of debt, isn't mine to lose anymore. It's Tasha's, legally binding, locked up tight in a will Jade's never seen. The thought brings a flicker of satisfaction, but it's bittersweet. My daughter's betrayal cuts deeper than I can say, and I'm not just fighting for my home, I'm fighting for the truth. Jade calls later that day, her voice clipped but smug. "Mama, I'm bringing some agents by tomorrow. We need to stage the house, make it look good for buyers." I pause, letting her think I'm crumbling. "Agents? Jade, I'm not sure." "It's happening, Mama," she cuts in. "You'll be better off in Shady Pines. It's a nice place. They'll take care of you." Shady Pines, a care facility, just like she said before. My blood boils, but I keep my voice soft, broken. "If you think it's best, baby." She hesitates, like she's surprised I'm not fighting harder. "Good, I'll be there at noon." I hang up, my hands steady now. She thinks I'm defeated, but I'm playing her game, letting her dig her own hole. I call Tasha, who's in Atlanta, her voice warm but concerned when she picks up. "Aunt Dolores, you okay? You sound off." "I need you here, Tasha," I say, keeping my voice low. "Bring the paperwork for the house. The will, the deed, everything. Jade's trying to sell it, and she doesn't know it's in your name." Tasha gasps, "Sell it? Aunt Dolores, how could she?" "I don't know the whole story yet, I admit, but I need you to back me up. Can you come tomorrow?" "I'll be there," she promises. "And I'm bringing my lawyer friend, just in case." I thank her, my heart lighter, but still heavy with what's coming. Tasha's always been my rock, the daughter Jade stopped being. But I can't dwell on that now. I've got work to do. The next day, Jade arrives with 2 real estate agents, both in slick suits, their smiles too wide. They're from her firm, and I catch the way one of them, a man with a flashy watch, glances at Jade, like they share a secret. My stomach twists. Is he the man Ruthie saw? The one Marla mentioned? I file it away, keeping my face neutral, as Jade starts directing them to rearrange my living room. "Move that couch over there," she says, pointing. "And Mama, we need to pack up some of this clutter. Buyers want clean lines." I nod, sitting in my armchair, my walker nearby to sell the frail act. "Whatever you say, Jade." She smirks, a quick flash of triumph. "You'll be happier in Shady Pines anyway." I bite back the urge to snap, letting her think she's in control. The agents take photos, measure walls, chatter about market value. I watch Jade closely, noticing how her hands fidget, how her eyes dart to that man with the watch. There's tension there, something unspoken. I wonder if he's the one pulling her strings, or if she's the one calling the shots. As they pack up my photos, pictures of Jade as a girl, of her daddy laughing on the porch, I feel a pang, but I push it down. I'm not losing this house, not to her, not to anyone. The agents leave, promising to list the property soon. And Jade lingers, her smirk fading as she looks at me. "You're doing the right thing, Mama," she says, almost like she's convincing herself. "This is for the best." I nod, my eyes welling up just enough to sell it. "I hope so, baby." She leaves, and I wait until her car's gone before I spring into action. I call Marcus, the lawyer, and tell him about the agents, the forged documents, the for sale sign. He's already found something on Coastal Ventures. It's a shell company tied to Jade's firm, with shady transactions linked to offshore accounts. It's fraud, Ms. Mayfield, he says. We can report it, freeze the accounts, even press charges. Not yet, I say. I need Jade to think she's winning a little longer. He agrees to wait, but I hear the concern in his voice. I don't care. This isn't just about the house anymore. It's about showing Jade she can't break me. Tasha arrives that evening, her face a mix of worry and determination. She's got the paperwork, the will, the deed, all stamped and notarized. Her lawyer friend, a woman named Carla, is with her, her briefcase full of documents that could bury Jade. We sit at the kitchen table, going over the plan. Tasha's eyes fill with tears as I tell her about Jade's betrayal. She was always stubborn, Tasha says. But this, Aunt Dolores, I'm so sorry. Don't be, I say, my voice firm. She made her choice. Now she'll face the consequences. Carla lays out the legal steps. We'll report the forged signature to the authorities, file a fraud complaint, and notify Jade's creditors about her schemes. Her credit will tank, her real estate license could be revoked, and if she's tied to that shell company, she might face worse. I nod, my heart heavy, but resolved. Jade wanted me gone, but I'm still here, and I'm not going quietly. The next morning, I called Jade, my voice weak and trembling for effect. The agents were nice, honey. I'm ready to sign whatever you need. She sounds relieved, too relieved. Good, Mama. I'll bring the papers tonight. I smile, though she can't see it. See you then. As I hang up, I look at Tasha, who's watching me with pride. You're stronger than anyone I know, she says. I shake my head. Not strong, just stubborn. Tonight, Jade will walk into this house thinking she's won. She'll see the papers, the will, Tasha's name on the deed. She'll see the police report I'm ready to file, the lawyer waiting to tear her world apart. And she'll learn what happens when you try to bury your own mother. I'm not just living to teach her a lesson. I'm living to make sure she never forgets it. The evening Jade's supposed to come with the papers. I sit in my armchair, the house quiet, except for the tick of the old clock on the mantle. Tasha's in the kitchen with Carla, the lawyer, their voices low as they go over the documents one last time. The will, the deed, the police report, they're all ready. A trap Jade's walking into blind. My heart's heavy, but my resolve is iron. She wanted me gone, thought I was too weak to fight. Tonight, she'll see who I am. Jade arrives at 6 sharp, her heels clicking on the porch. She's got a folder tucked under her arm, her face all business, but there's a nervous edge to her eyes. The man with the flashy watch is with her, definitely the one Ruthie saw, maybe the one Marla mentioned. He's smug, his suit too crisp for my dusty living room. I play the part, hunched over my walker, my voice frail. These the papers, baby? Yeah, Mama, Jade says, laying the folder on the table. Just sign, and we'll handle the rest. The buyer's ready to close tomorrow. I nod, slow and shaky, but before I can pick up the pen, Tasha steps out of the kitchen, Carla behind her. Jade freezes, her eyes darting between us. Tasha, what are you doing here? Tasha's voice is calm but sharp, like a blade wrapped in silk. You signed off on a property that doesn't belong to you. Jade's mouth drops open, her laugh sharp and disbelieving. What are you talking about? That's my mama's house. No, baby, Tasha says, stepping closer, the deed in her hand. It's mine. Auntie transferred it before you started scheming. Jade's eyes snap to me, wide with shock, then fury. You what? You gave it to her? I stand straighter, letting the walker fall to the side. Years ago, Jade, I saw the way you were changing, how you looked at this house like it was yours to take. So I made sure it was safe. The man in the suit shifts, his smugness fading. This is a misunderstanding, he starts, but Carla cuts him off, holding up the police report. No misunderstanding, she says. Forging a power of attorney is a felony. So are the unauthorized withdrawals from Ms. Mayfield's accounts. The bank's already frozen your accounts. Ms. Mayfield, Jade that is, and Coastal Ventures, the DA's looking into that too. Jade screams, a raw guttural sound that echoes through the house. You can't do this. I did this for us, Mama. For me. You were supposed to die in peace. I finish, my voice cold. You said it yourself, Jade, but I'm still here. Her hands shake as she grabs the folder, ripping the papers inside. The man tries to pull her back, muttering about damage control, but she's unraveling, her face a mask of rage and panic. You're ruining me, she yells. My reputation, my career, everything. You did that yourself, Tasha says, her voice steady. You thought you could sell Auntie's life out from under her. Now you're the one paying. Carla steps forward, handing Jade a summons. You've been served. I suggest you get a lawyer. Jade stumbles back, the papers falling from her hands. The man mutters something and bolts for the door, leaving her alone. She looks at me, tears streaming down her face, but I don't flinch. I've cried my tears for her. She turns and runs, the screen door slamming behind her. Months later, I'm on my porch, the Savannah air warm and thick with jasmine. Tasha's beside me, pouring sweet tea, her laugh soft as she talks about her students. The house is still mine. Well, Tasha's, but she's promised to keep it in the family. Jade's calls come daily now. Her voicemails, a mix of apologies and desperation. Her accounts are frozen. Her real estate license gone. Her name tied to a fraud investigation. Coastal Ventures collapsed. And that man in the suit. Turned out he was a con artist, using Jade to launder money through fake property deals. She's drowning, and she's begging for a lifeline. Tasha glances at me, her brow raised. You want me to block her number again? I shake my head, sipping my tea. Number, let her call. Let her hear the peace in my voice. Tasha smiles, but there's a question in her eyes. You sure, Auntie? She hurt you bad? She did, I say, my gaze drifting to the oak tree across the yard, its branches heavy with moss. But I'm not her savior. She made her bed. I think about Jade's last voicemail, her voice cracking as she begged for money, for forgiveness, for a way out. I didn't call back. She wanted me gone, thought I was a burden she could cash in. Now she's the one struggling, scraping by in a rented room, her dreams of wealth in ashes. I could help her. Part of me wants to, the part that remembers her as a little girl, clinging to me during thunderstorms. But the woman she's become, that woman doesn't get a cent. I turn to the camera, my voice steady, my eyes clear. She told me to go die in peace, but I chose to live. And in living, I reminded her, you don't spit in the face of the one who fed you. The sun sets, painting the sky gold, and I lean back in my chair, the tea sweet on my tongue. Jade's still out there, fighting to stay afloat. But this house, this life, it's mine. I've got Tasha, Marla, the memories of a life hard won. Jade thought she could break me, but I'm still here, breathing, living, teaching her the hardest lesson of all. You don't betray the ones who love you and walk away unscathed. If you stayed with me till the end, let me ask, would you have forgiven her or done the same? Tell me in the comments. And if you ever felt invisible or disrespected, hit that subscribe button. This story was for you.